What's up guys, we hope you're doing well and welcome to the first video here on our website. So over the past few months our team has repeatedly found that most musicians are unable to see the huge potential behind YouTube playlists. In fact, we are sure that popular YouTube playlists can provide just as valuable an impact on your music as popular Spotify playlists. Now you might wonder how we come up with this claim. After more than 5 years of expanding our Spotify network, we wanted to find out new ways for our own productions to reach more listeners and expand our web presence. And honestly, we were kind of shocked when we saw the initial results of our first YouTube playlist experience. So with this video, we want to give you some background information about YouTube playlists and how they can help to grow your audience and raise awareness of your brand. But first, here's some important facts and what else you need to know. Back in 2018, Music Business Worldwide published an article about YouTube being the most dominant streaming platform in the global music business. And just during that year, YouTube overhauled its music streaming app and it literally started exploding in popularity. According to Google, 1 billion visitors come to YouTube for music each month, and the music streaming app still has a lot more room left to grow. If you're having trouble imagining that these claims are true, you can just go and ask some people around you and how they listen to their favorite songs. Of course, other music streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music or even SoundCloud will be mentioned. But like it or not, globally, YouTube is the go-to spot for most people. And the reason for that is kind of simple. You know, YouTube is like the all-in-one entertainment place, especially for younger listeners. Furthermore, it is quite easy to understand. There's a huge variety of content available for free, and you can connect with other users as well. So, obviously, there's a huge audience out there that you can appeal to with your music. The problem is, YouTube gets tons of material uploaded every second. To make their music stand out, many artists often produce a rather expensive music video. Please do not get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with an expensive music video. But simply uploading the video and hoping to get the views in automatically only works in the fewest cases. Once your music video is uploaded, the actual work begins. Because one thing is for sure, to make your videos and channel more relevant on YouTube, you need to generate more views and watch time. On the one hand, you can promote your video with YouTube ads to influence these factors, which certainly works well for some artists. However, popular YouTube playlists also offer a powerful alternative to promote your content. So let's talk more specifically about this issue. So, how do YouTube playlists actually work? In fact, the answer to that question is not too hard to understand, as YouTube playlists work quite similarly compared to Spotify playlists. But let's start from the beginning. There are extremely popular playlists on YouTube across all genres. Let me show you an example. If I go to the start page of YouTube and just simply type rock into the search bar, I get different results depending on my location and interest. One of the first things YouTube often shows you is a customized mix playlist based on past search terms and views. Yeah, whatever YouTube considers to be relevant for you. Then in the first two spots, we find two different rock mix videos. And in the third spot already, we see a playlist called My 80s and 90s Rock Playlist. Alright, perfect. So let's have a look at this one. Let me change the language up real quick. Alright, here we go. So, logically, all included videos are located on the right side. On the left, we can see that the playlist has a total of 189 videos. And what we can also see here, and this is very important, is that the playlist has received over 427 million views to date. As some of you may already know, YouTube decides very differently at what point a click should be considered a real view of a video. Some websites talk about a user having to watch the video for at least 20 or 30 seconds, but honestly, we've also gotten views where our music videos were only watched for 1 or 2 seconds. However, the counting works a little differently with YouTube playlists. Namely, any video that was played within the playlist counts as one view for the entire playlist. So this means that the playlist will generate over 189 views if a user takes the time to listen to the entire playlist from the first to the last video. The number of views is usually updated every 1 or 2 days. So please convince yourself and check out the views of a playlist that might be relevant to your music genre. It can sometimes seem crazy how many views certain playlists generate in one day. This playlist, for example, has generated over 65,000 views per day over the past week, which is kind of insane. But now, some of you may be wondering, what exactly is that number of views supposed to tell you, and what does that mean in terms of different spots? To answer that question, we want to show you another example. So we decided to share this screenshot from the insides of that R&B old school playlist right here. So it basically confirms all the experiences we've made over the past 3 years. The first spot usually takes 10% of the incoming traffic, followed by the second spot. In average, it should take 5 to 7%. And then it kind of jumps a little up and down with each additional spot. As a small orientation, if you can get one of your videos to be ranked around spot 20 in a popular playlist, you can expect to receive about 1 or 2% of the incoming traffic. So the higher your video is placed within a popular playlist, the more views you can expect. This is exactly the same principle as with Spotify playlists. And just like Spotify, there are different users on YouTube who have at some point created playlists that have grown over time for different reasons. Now that you know what YouTube playlists are all about, it's best to take a look around for yourself. As with Spotify, it is sometimes possible to contact the owner of the playlist and suggest your music to them. Sometimes it takes a lot of patience to find what you're looking for, we know about that, but this tip is definitely worth mentioning. Alright, I hope this has all made sense so far. Now let's get a brief overview of all the benefits that YouTube playlists entail. First, you will automatically make use of the playlist audience. So many different people around the world will probably listen to your music for the first time. Therefore, the views of your video will increase in the first place. As mentioned earlier, this is a major influencing factor on YouTube's algorithms. Therefore, it is very likely that you will experience additional playlist placements, an increase in video suggestions in YouTube searches, and especially if people press like, it is possible that you will be featured in these so-called mixed playlists generated by YouTube. And just overall, there's a possibility you gain more external and direct traffic. If people like your style, it is also possible that they will subscribe to your channel and become more aware of your brand. Secondly, it is quite possible that YouTube registers and connects your music with the best hits and most famous artists in your genre in the future, as you will be in a playlist with them and hopefully for a while. With the right playlist to match your style, you can target the right audience for your music genre without advertising. And if you're enabled for the YouTube monetization as well, playlist views will count as normal views and you will keep 100% of the revenues. In the vast majority of cases, that doesn't work with YouTube ads as well. Maybe you've seen this point yourself before. YouTube playlists often run in different restaurants, bars, clubs, public places, and anywhere else where music is needed. This provides another opportunity to receive passive promotion. YouTube playlists are also the only way to promote explicit content organically. Unfortunately, this doesn't work with YouTube ads. And last but not least, with the YouTube Analytics board, you get a great overview of your audience and can check whether the views really came in organically. In general, a lot of important data of different categories can be easily tracked here. It's just an awesome tool overall and we love it. So, with that being said, we hope you now have a better understanding of YouTube playlists and the potential behind them. In general, we believe that you want to get your music promoted as much as possible to draw more attention to your brand, no matter on which platform. As a musician nowadays, this is very important since there are so many people who are trying to break into this field. We believe that your YouTube presence can determine how successful you're going to be in the music industry. So make sure you always keep an eye on your YouTube stats. If you have any further questions on the subject or just in general, please contact us at any time and we will try to help you as best as we can. Thank you for watching and we hope to talk to you soon.